And look at verse number 12. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it in the lust thereof. Neither yield your members as instrument of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourself unto God, as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. This is how we present our bodies. So when Paul is urging the church to present themselves, he's saying that, look, I want you to present yourself as instruments of righteousness. This is how we stand. So it's just not any old presentation. It is how we stand before God. And so that it means how we represent God in the process. Now, by presenting our bodies in righteousness, we become worship to God in whatever we do. In Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 7, the Bible tells us that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. In order for us to present ourselves as instrument of righteousness, our thought process must be in line with our presentation. Our presentation must be such that how we feed our minds will determine how we represent. So however a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So he presents himself. We got to feed the mind. We got to put the mind in such a position that the mind must be able to control the actions of the body so that it will present itself in such a way that it will represent in righteousness. Let me tell you something about presentation. Usually what happens is when we talk, or as we said just now there, presentation is about worship. And what happens is when we present ourselves, we are actually giving God glory. We are giving him praise. We are giving him worship. And sometimes we have the view that worship is when we come together in a setting like this, corporate type worship or corporate type setting. This is one form of worship. But how we represent ourselves or how we represent God is individually. You see, and when we represent God individually, we give God worship. Let me tell you something about Adam. Adam didn't need to pray. Adam didn't need faith. Adam didn't need to give collection. Adam didn't need to make sacrifice or partake of communion. And for the simple reason, Adam was worship. And Adam had become worship because he was holy, because he was in a holy place. And so it is his action by loving his wife, taking care of her, taking care of the garden, taking care of the words that God had presented to him. That was worship. And so when we present ourselves, not only in this setting, but when we present ourselves, when we go outside, whatever we do, we give worship. You see, the way how I conduct myself, when I talk to you, when I do it in the spirit of love, when I keep myself from immorality and emotional affairs, when I love my spouse, when I pay homage to the poor, when I treat men fairly, what I am doing, I am worshiping God. And I'm giving God the service that he so rightfully deserves. You see, because my presentation must be about giving glory. And in giving glory, it means that I have to do the things that God had asked me to do. You see, unless I don't give myself to the purpose of God, then I cannot give God worship. Then I am not presenting myself to represent God like the bride. But God wants us to do that. God wants us to give him the glory.